There was something huge in the skies over Oshkosh on Tuesday. Around 3 p.m., the Airbus A380 MSN 004 arrived not so high above Whitman Field for a 7-minute flying display that showed off the flight envelope and slow-speed handling characteristics of the aircraft. After it landed, the A380 taxied right by us. Just how big is the A380, you may wonder? Well, the Super Jumbo was very much on the taxiway, and the wingtip was directly over our heads. That's right, 262 feet wide. Parking the A380 was no small feat, as it took more than 10 minutes to maneuver the aircraft into position on Aeroshell Square. Airbus CEO Tom Enders was on hand to greet the arrival. He even entertained the idea of future visits of the A380 to Oshkosh.
We were doing tests while we were flying over yesterday. We are working on GPS upgrades and APU upgrades right now. There are 17 aircraft, 380 aircraft already with free customers. You find them here. It's Qantas, it's Singapore, it's Emirates, and we hope to add another 8 or 9 aircraft in airline service until the end of the year. And I very much hope, Tom, that perhaps in a couple of years, like British Airways did with the Concorde a couple of times, one of these 380 customers will bring flights over here into Oshkosh on special missions. We certainly will encourage that as much as we can.
We were invited on board for a tour of the aircraft, which remains in a flight test configuration with no formal interior, as you'll see. Claude Lelay, Senior Vice President of Airbus's Flight Division and an A380 pilot, was our guide for our tour of the double-decker jet.
Welcome on board. You are on board of the second flight test aircraft, so you will see a lot of flight test installation. Be careful what's indicated, no step not to walk there. You will see a lot of tank like that. That's for the Bordeaux or the Beaujolais or the Champagne or whatever. In fact, it's used to put water to properly adjust the center of gravity of the aircraft for flight test. As you see this pipe, the engineer have a computer to compute exactly the center of gravity as a function of the fuel position and of the water position, and they can precisely adjust that for flight test.
I asked Lelay how fly-by-wire technology has evolved over the years, and his answer was quite interesting.
About fly-by-wire, yes, we are. It has changed since the very beginning. You see, fly-by-wire has a big advantage over the previous flight control system. That in the past, flight control system were there to please the pilot, to make an aircraft flyable, and second, to comply with certification regulation. Now with fly-by-wire, you can design an aircraft to minimize the loads and so reduce the weight, and you can improve the comfort. And I will explain when in the back what we have done in some area to really improve the comfort.
Lelay elaborated further on how fly-by-wire helped to improve the ride of the A380 early on in the flight test program.
The pilot and the flight test engineer. It's typically what I explained a few minutes ago. When we had a problem at the beginning, the comfort of the aircraft at the back, it was a bit moving like that due to the flexibility of the wing. There was a coupling between two frequencies, one like that, and the engineer make some modification, and to test the modification, you cannot do that in a simulator. You have to do that in flight. So we had one guy here who was testing various low. Pilots were giving their opinion, test engineers their opinion, and the guy in the back giving his opinion, just like that.
We made our way upstairs and were treated to quite a view from the upper deck of the A380. Now let's pause for a moment. What's a wooden table doing on a jetliner? Seems out of place, right? The story goes this table was installed on a French caravel in 1955 that carried Cardinal Roncalli, who later became Pope John XXIII.
It's put on all our test aircraft, and now the mechanics can play card, obviously, have the drink wine because they are not limited. They have some saucisson, sausage, or whatever.
Lay then took us to the flight deck for a broad overview of the aircraft's flight management system.
Here you have the primary flight display, and on the other side you have the camera. Using the FMS is very simple. Go to FMS, active, init. So you insert your flight number. Tac, insert from Oshkosh to Milwaukee. Then that's done. Flight level. Then you go to fuel and load. Zero fuel weight, zero fuel CG, block fuel, number of passengers, that's for the pressurization. Then return. Then you go to your flight plan. You enter your flight plan. You see flight call, departure. But the runway is not in the database, so it's a bit unusual. Then you insert your takeoff performance and so on. Well, for the time being, a lot of things has not been inserted, so you see it's really straightforward.
The view from the camera mounted in the A380's tail provided a unique vantage point for the show, including an almost bird's-eye view of Virgin Galactic's White Knight 2. That's a wrap. Thanks for coming on board with us.